Hi, my name's Niki Selken, and this is my design manifesto. I want to create a more conscious and self-aware design practice that looks into mindfulness, knowing that the best design is often created by examining not what not to do. I want to really think about creating consciousness and impact with my work, and being self-aware when I make something, knowing that there are cultural and societal forces at work influencing it. Sherry Turkle places the net in a mindful and generational context. She says, because we grew up with the net, we assume that the net is grown up. We tend to see technology as it's being in its maturity, but in fact, we are in early days. There is time to make corrections, and it's above all important the young need to be convinced this when it comes to our networked life, that we are still in the beginning of things. And I wholeheartedly agree. Having the long view of immediate or close technologies is vital. Thinking through worst case scenarios as well as you can, that's just part of the puzzle. You know, the net isn't really innate to me. I remember when my family first got a computer, and I remember when the internet surfaced. I was on bulletin board systems when I was, in junior high. The internet hadn't fully even developed at that point. I think all we had was AOL. And having a transitional perspective like this is helpful when imagining both analog and digital solutions, as well as questioning technological modes that often people accept as just standard. An inside-out perspective is similar to that of an ethnographer when they're observing a culture. You may have a link to the culture, but you're still trying to look at it objectively. And if I start by assuming that I'm a product of my own culture, both economic and creative, as such, I am capable of designing for them, and I can move with intuition and tempered by consciousness in my work. Moving in the theme of consciousness a little further, Tony Fry points out, implied in the position outlined is that designers place the current needs of the market in second place to the political, ethological project of gaining sustainability. What he's saying is that by chasing the carrot of commercial success, designers often throw sustainability overboard when making products or services or digital devices. But such a defuturing behavior, although it's ubiquitous within the current market, is causing disastrous repercussions for our planet's health and environmental safety. Just look around how many barrels of oil are not being used right now. We're all in quarantine, and also how much cleaner the air is all over the world. These things are shown, kind of lifting the curtain to design choices and solutions that were maybe not the best that we've been using. To take this one step further, I actually want to design and create art that affects consciousness raising. And I will never forget that we live in a nuclear, networked, and controlled age. And it is our job as artists and designers to disarm the mechanisms of that paradigm and not prop it up by allowing people to fall deeper into a simulation of safety. Entry into the atomic club, so amusingly named, very rapidly removes any inclination toward violent intervention. Jean Baudrillard. Basically, what Jean Baudrillard published this paper in 1983, and it still rings true. Once you have nuclear power and capability of nuclear bombs, the fear of disaster will deter you from acting at all. And we are living in a time that denies consequences while packaging risk and selling it to the highest bidder. The status of the age, which led to the 2008 subprime mortgage crisis and in the WikiLeaks, it's contagious. It is vital that we, as artists and designers, defend against futility and embrace our role as future makers, earth healers, and thought leaders. We must create conscious, self-aware art and design methodologies that weigh risk versus reward. To dream a new future and bring it into being, it's always a risk. As creative problem solvers who shape the future, it's our duty to wrestle the impossible questions of civic and societal good within a nuclear and networked world, and a world in the middle of a pandemic. Imagine a world with a little more heart than the one we currently have. Designers would teach rather than pander, and products would manage needs rather than create them. If we can look past ourselves and sculpt a future better than the one we are handed, we might just stand a chance.